Brian Palavai, Run Far, here with Pat Smyth before the 2015 U.S. Mountain Running Championships. How are you, Pat?
Doing well.
You ran the U.S. Mountain Running Championships last year and took second.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was a tough race. It was kind of my first trail mountain race ever.
Yeah.
So it was definitely, I got thrown into the fire real quick. It was an uphill year, and the course was extremely uphill, as I quickly found out. But it was fun. I kind of battled it out with Joe Gray, and he just was way better grinder on the uphills and you know, way more experienced. And so, but I was happy to finish second. You know, I was totally exhausted. Like, I gave it everything, and the course definitely took its toll on me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, a couple months later, you must have recovered and changed something, because you had a really good run at Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was one of those things, and I think it's similar here, is that they did a good job of replicating the world's course at the U.S. Championship. So, you know, it wasn't such a surprise to get to Italy and then have another ridiculous course that was just like, you know, super technical. We were climbing up steps, and then we were climbing up, you know, really tight switchbacks, rocky, craggy stuff, and then we finished in a marble quarry. Like, it was nuts, like, and just ridiculous vertical the whole time. So it was good. That I had the primer at Loon Mountain, and then Italy wasn't such a big shock, and was able to have a pretty good showing.
You're 10th there, correct?
Yeah.
Did you do any, having seen the first race, did you do any specific training to get you ready for that second go?
Yeah, I think I definitely hit some more long, sustained vertical climbs. I think before I'd been doing, okay, I got to hit some short hill repeats, and then, you know, I started. You're familiar with Salt Lake City. Started doing some long runs up like City Creek Canyon, just to get that long sustained grind uphill simulation. So a little bit different training to prepare me for the Italy race. Yeah,
and since then you've dabbled in a bunch of things. You've done some road running, and you've done some really fast ultra running. I mean, you gave a go at Speed Goat last July, which didn't go so well.
No. Yeah, I'm glad that this weekend overlapped with that weekend this year pretty well, so I didn't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, mountain championships.
But then you ran Way Too Cool in the spring and set a course record and won, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I think Way Too Cool and Speed Goat are about as polar opposite of 50Ks as you can get in the 50K world. And yeah, the Speed Goat one was, you know, like, I was totally ill-equipped for that one, got annihilated, and then Way Too Cool was like kind of really suited me, you know. It was like this perfect, smooth, buttery single track the whole way, and yeah, had a good run there.
Did anything go wrong there, or did you think you had it totally dialed?
I think I had it really dialed at that point. I mean, I was doing some good hilly long runs, and yeah, my speed was okay at that point, and I was healthy, and I just qualified for the World Cross Country team previously, so I knew everything was kind of clicking, and just got into the zone in that race, and just.
So you're doing stuff like World Cross Country, like you're running the national championships there. You're doing 50K on the trail, and you ran a 103 half this recently. So how are you getting all of those components together, and then preparing yourself for this?
Yeah, it hasn't been easy. I mean, like, after Cross, you know, and after Way Too Cool, so that was like end of March. I think it all kind of crept up on me, you know, doing such varied stuff. I had a little injury that just went on for a couple months. Like, I couldn't kind of get rid of that, but finally got things back on track, and then was just, because the injury was kind of it would get flared up when I ran trails. I kind of just was like, okay, I got to do some road racing to get myself fit. And I also wanted to get the Olympic marathon trial standard by running the half in under 65 minutes. So it kind of worked out well that I was like, okay, this is all I can do right now, and, you know, it will serve its purpose as well.
Yeah. So you're feeling fit?
Yeah, fit now. I came off of that 63:20 half in Minnesota at the end of June pretty well, and then had to move. I just moved to Santa Fe, but training there has gone really well. It's kind of working in with the group of the woman that won the Boston Marathon this spring, and hitting a lot of track sessions, and like I hadn't touched the track in a long time, but I feel like my speed is good again and endurance is good, so like my chances.
You're feeling ready to give it a go.
Yeah.
And I assume you'll be going for that win. Haven't been pretty close last year?
Yeah.
How are you going to take it to Joe? I mean, Joe has so much experience, Joe Gray, and he's won this a number of times, and you didn't get him last year.
Right.
What's it going to take to...
Yeah, I think I just have to, I respect Joe tremendously, and he's like enormously talented, especially on the climbs and the descents. So I think this year I'm going to like just kind of, maybe let him dictate the race a little bit, and see what kind of moves he's making and follow, and try not to just run away with it at the beginning. So it's gonna have to be, I think I'll kind of temper my enthusiasm, I guess, in the early goings, especially since it's a three loop course and all the loops are pretty brutal. So
it's 650 feet of climb and like a mile basically.
Right, and then screaming downhill,
which do you think that is advantageous for you? It's non-technical, long road descent.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm gonna go check out the course later, but from what I've heard, it should suit me pretty well. I like running downhill, especially when it's not super technical. I think I just got to be careful not to wipe out, because I still have that governor that a lot of long-time mountain and trail guys like Joe seem to have just gotten rid of completely. Like they can just bomb down anything.
Now, have you worked on that specifically? I mean, how do you get past that? Because it is a limiter. You can work as hard as you can to stay with Joe on the climb, and if you can just let that flywheel go.
No, it's a huge thing, and I can't really say that I've worked on it to the point that it's not a problem anymore. I mean, I still have some hesitation when these other guys just blow, even Max, just hammer it on the downhill. So I think I just gotta focus on what my strengths are, and that's being able to always be in contact, and then get some room to run, and then really try to.
I mean, it could be coming down to that last downhill, because it's downhill to the finish. So you got to be ready to. And I like somebody's going to be rolling out at sub 430 on the final descent.
Probably, yeah. So. It's nice that it'll be double track. At least that it won't be so tight that you can't kind of move around.
You can pass for sure. But
space. So.
It's going to be a little loose on that too. So taking the turns. Going to be interesting.
It could be interesting. There could be some bloody bodies.
Probably
at the end. There.
So how did you go from your road and track background? How did you decide I'm going to start? Why did you do the U.S. Mountain Running Championships last year?
The very first trail race I did was Xterra U.S. Nationals in, I think it was 2013, up in Ogden, Utah, and had a good run there. I won that race, and then got tied in with the Nike trail group that was kind of just starting at that point, and started kind of just really loving the trails again. I'd been on the roads and the track for so long, and had tried to move up to the marathon, and got really burnt out, trying to make put all my marbles into that, and I found the trails and kind of reinvigorated my love for the sport again. It was this is awesome, atmosphere is so much more low-key and loose and fun, and I just was really enjoying it again. And so it was easy to make the transition. I was this is I can both still be competitive and
I mean, you saw success right away. I mean, you did the Ogden race, but then you went to Hawaii and beat Joe and Max.
That was a tough race as well. That just knowing, that was where I first realized, it takes a different set of skills to be very good at this kind of racing.
Now, before you made the transition to trails now, when you were younger, growing up running cross country and track, were you doing some trail stuff or? Just for your own?
I grew up in Salt Lake City and was always getting on the Bonneville Shoreline Trail, or up the 7 canyons that are kind of circle the city there. So I did a lot in my high school days, even college when I came back for summers, I do a lot of trail running, but it was never my focus. And I guess that's been the difference these past couple years is that I've just made it my focus.
Well, you've done a pretty good job so far, and best of luck on Saturday.
Yeah, hey, thank you.
Yep.
It's been a pleasure.